What's up and welcome back to Campfire Convos. On this episode, I have DJ, one half of Places and Paths, and we had a pretty cool conversation, if I do say so myself.
I think, it was pretty good.
Of those topics, we talked about how the environment that you live in can kind of sway your habits and hobbies, I guess.
Sure.
And how talking to strangers can get you into some really cool situations. And we also talked about YouTube a good bit. I feel like that's a cool thing that I have not had another YouTuber on the podcast yet. So I feel like we talked about that, and we're going to probably talk about the good stuff off camera, but they don't need to. The stuff that we care about.
Right. It will bore them.
Yeah. But anyways, we had a good time sitting around the fire. We got a little wet during the conversation. But I think we have another window here, so we might have got a little too excited.
The fire kept us dry enough.
Yeah. It'll dry off eventually anyways. But if that sounds interesting, make sure you stick around to the end. But enjoy the show. This might be an interesting story to go in on, because I feel like you would understand my frustration with this, but also get like the law enforcement side of it. Like, you kind of have to have the standard. So he shoots his bear with a bow, okay? And it's like, when he shot it, it was just before dark. And he called, there's like, I don't know, maybe 10 of us who showed up to like go track this thing.
Sure, yeah.
And we're crawling through, and everyone's walking with their pistol and the flashlights, right? And we're walking, we're tracking. And we track this thing like, I don't know, maybe like 600 yards, right? Eventually we find it. And it is not in good shape, but it's still alive. So we're all sitting there, we're like, well, what are we going to do? We called the game warden and talked to a couple of different people, and the consensus is leave it there. You can't do anything with it because it's dark, one, and two, all you have is firearm. Archery is in.
Right.
So how do you prove that it's... And we're like, it's sitting here. Like, it's suffering.
And it's suffering.
And that was the thing.
Yep.
And I mean, like I said, 10, 11 guys, and everyone's hunters, and they're all like that respectful type of hunter, like not like that just doing it to do it.
Right. Yep.
Like the really feel for the animal, and when you harvest it, you try to do it the right way. And so everyone's pretty upset about it. But fast forward to the next day, and we come back, and it had moved like another 20 yards maybe, but it died.
Yeah.
And all the meat was bad because we left it.
Because it was too warm?
Yeah.
So it must have died shortly after you guys left.
It had to have.
Yeah.
I mean, it was definitely warmer for that time of the year. I remember that, maybe like mid 50s. But I can't even remember what time period that is, to be honest.
So usually early, well, it would have been, if it's archery, it's early. It's still warm out, in archery season, so.
But yeah, so anyways, I say all that to say, like, what is your perspective on this? Like, yes, you have to have the laws in place, because, who's to say you didn't just go out there and shoot it with your gun? And
right. I completely understand what the warden was saying, why they're saying it, because they kind of have to keep track of, like, what method is being... So when they take it to the bear check, if there's a bullet hole in its head...
What's that there for?
Yeah, why is that there?
Yeah.
So I completely understand that. That's part of the management process of the animals. But like you said, knowing that it was out there, knowing it suffered throughout several hours until it finally did pass, I don't know if there is a right answer.
Yeah.
The only other thing would have been to maybe shoot it again, but now we're after legal hunting hours.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that was the other thing I forgot to mention, because we asked, well, you can't shoot it with your gun.
Right.
Can I put another arrow in it? Because it's archery. It's like, well...
But you're after dusk.
After dark.
Yep.
So yeah, I like... You pretty much said it. You understand the reason for it, but like, it does kind of suck. I think that's kind of an unusual situation to have happen. So it's not like that happens.
And I don't think it's not as unusual as you think, because a lot of those animal movements are in the evening, right at dusk.
Yeah.
I love the hunt in the evening, but you run into that problem of, once you shoot it, if you don't have, a kill shot, you're going to be tracking that animal, and you're going to be getting into dark.
Yeah.
So you need to be prepared longer hours in the woods after. Make sure you have your headlamps, things like that.
Yeah.
I mean, every hunter that usually goes out should have a backpack with equipment.
Yeah.
To at least spend at least one night if you have to.
Yeah.
You know, if you get lost or something, you should at least be prepared for at least one night in the woods.
Yeah. Yeah. Worst case scenario, or even fall, get hurt, and
Right.
have to be stuck down for a night. Because I feel like, and I'm sure this isn't everyone, but a lot of the hunters I know are pretty good at communicating, like where they're going to be. Like, it's probably because they're all trading stands, basically. but yeah, hey, like, haven't seen them since last night.
So I hunt by myself a lot. And my wife is very adamant, like, send me a pin where you parked your truck.
Yeah.
So at least I know if you don't come back, we can at least get to your truck.
Yeah.
And then she also knows that I'm not usually very far away from my truck. So where I'll park, we've discussed, like, even if I have service where I'm setting up for the day, I'll send her a pin, hey, this is where I'm at or something.
Yeah.
If I'm not real close to my truck.
So that being said, do you hunt a lot of different locations then?
So I do. I kind of spread it out.
Yeah.
Mostly up off the Shawmut grade. But there'll be times where I'll be like, let's just try here for the day.
Yeah.
I mean, just go out and sit in the woods and see what you see. When you're hunting by yourself, it's a little bit harder because no one's moving deer around for you. Yeah. So,
I feel like that was, I don't want to say a big portion of why I stopped, but like I would shoot. We're the kids, you get first shot.
Yeah.
But then you're pushing the rest of the season.
Yeah.
So I'm going out for a couple weeks after getting the deer, and I don't get to carry a gun. I'm just walking through the woods. I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah. So the group of guys that I end up hunting with are from the station, and we just kind of get together that last Saturday.
Yeah.
And do a bunch of drives on that last Saturday. My future son-in-law, he actually hunted with me this year. It was the first time.
Nice.
He went out with me. We were with the group of guys from the station, and that's where I ended up getting my doe that last day.
Sweet.
So,
now, what do you? I'm assuming you keep the meat. What do you do with it? What's your favorite thing to do with deer meat?
So we do everything on our own. I go down to my buddy's house. We skin it, quarter it, get it in the refrigerator, and then usually from there, process it and make sausage. Yeah. So I'll break it down, and then him and I will set a date, and we go down and we do all the sausage. He does all the smoking and everything right there. Nice. So it's from the harvest until we're actually, using what we harvest. Every bit of it's done. We do it all. We don't take it to a processor.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have not been good at that in my family for a while, but the last couple of years, my youngest brother started processing. And it's just so much more. I feel like that's kind of part of the whole experience, like to really make you appreciate the process and appreciate the.
Oh, and the work begins.
Oh yeah,
that's where the work begins. It's not going out to the hunt.
Yeah,
it's the processing, and you also know if you take it to a processor, you don't know what you're getting.
Yeah.
Did you get somebody else's meat? Is it all thrown together? When you're processing it, I know we keep his separate, we keep my separate, and anybody else that is doing it with us is all separate.
Yeah.
So you kind of know you're getting your meat. In the sausage process, the pork we're mixing in with it, it's your pork. You cut it up, so you know every bit of the process. And that's what I like is it's your meat. Yeah. And it's not somebody's that sat in the back of their truck for a day and a half and is on that cusp of being spoiled, So.
But you also get it much quicker, right? Like you could go home, you're processing yourself. You could cut a couple steaks off and
and
be your dinner
we've literally cooked it as we were processing it. Take the back strap out, cut some fillets, throw it in the pan as we're doing it. So, I mean, it doesn't get any fresher than that. Within hours of the harvest, you're cooking it. So,
you ever keep or cook the heart or any of the?
I do not.
Yeah.
No. I know he and his kid do, but I've never kept any of that. Yeah. No liver, no heart, no nothing.
Yeah, I've not. No one that I've hunted with has ever kept it that I know of. But this last couple months ago, I was staying at a place that had a elk and venison shop basically.
Okay.
And one of the things they had was elk heart.
Yeah.
So I bought one of those and cooked it up, and I was surprised at how good it was.
Really?
It was. I put it in a water bath for almost 2 days to make sure I got all the stuff out.
Yeah.
But then after I cut it up, I pretty much just seasoned it and cooked it like a steak, and it was.
I wouldn't even know what to do with it, honestly.
It's kind of weird because the way you cut it up, like it's a heart, so it doesn't look like anything like a steak. But by the time you're done with it, it just looks like a couple little pieces of steak.
Huh.
There's a couple little I forget what they're called, but they're like these little stringy things that are just kind of coming out everywhere from the inside. So you cut those off because apparently they're pretty chewy. And then, like I said, salt, pepper, and cooked it in butter, and it was no gaminess.
Really?
I was super surprised. I thought it was going to be gamey. I thought it was going to be chewy. I thought it was going to be gross. I pretty much did it. So I cooked elk heart, quail eggs, and some just portobello mushrooms. And me, my brother, my mom, and one of our family friends all tried it. And we did it on camera. And we basically expected to do it as like this is bad. Or like, oh, that's not terrible. But we literally cleaned the plate. Like, we all liked it so much that we ate all of it. So it was interesting. Makes me definitely want to keep it next time. Like, I'm assuming elk and deer heart are probably similar flavors anyways.
I would assume,
I'm assuming the size is different, but that's pretty much it. But definitely a new experience. But I've also seen people like just straight up like heart out of the deer, like take a chunk out of it.
Yeah,
that freaks me out a little bit.
Yeah, no.
I think I'll clean it at least, but maybe let it cool off. I don't know.
Yeah,
still warm seems pretty fair.
I don't know. I still don't think you're going to convince me to try it.
Challenge accepted. I'm gonna make it look and smell so good.
Just like a steak.
Give me a little piece. Yeah. Of it. I'm telling you, it tasted just like I would say like a sirloin. Nothing like super, it wasn't super tender, wasn't super, super muscly, but it was solid. But anyways, mini hunting tangent.
Yeah, well, we are in Elk County.
Yeah.
all the, it's starting to fall. That's all everybody does up here.
Yeah. I actually, I have never hunted in Elk County. We have Indiana County. My family has some property, and that's where I grew up hunting. For a long time we leased it, and eventually we had the opportunity to buy it, and did. But it'd be cool to get up here and find some spots. I don't know how to approach hunting on public land, to be honest.
Oh, that's all I ever hunt.
It's always been private.
Yep.
There was a couple times where we would go sit somewhere public, but nothing that was like, you're not putting a stand up somewhere on the public property. But we've had issues on private property with people messing with their stands. So
you can put on public property. It has to be off a certain time. You can't put it up until a certain time.
Yeah.
And then it's on public property, so it's open to anybody to use it.
Oh.
So if you put your stand in a tree and I'm walking by and I decide I want to hunt out of that stand. Now, as a hunter, if you were to walk up and go, hey, you're in my stand, okay.
Yeah.
But you can't get mad if somebody's in your stand. Yeah. It's there. It's on public property.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah. Huh.
But me personally, I always just hunt from the ground.
Yeah.
And I only hunt on public land.
Yeah.
I don't normally hunt within the first few days of the opening, just because there's so many people on public land up here. I usually kind of wait until later in the season.
Is that just you don't want to be around the people, or just?
It's just there's usually so many people. Yeah. So
I feel like you want to think everyone knows what they're doing too, but I feel like I could get sketchy pretty quick.
It probably could, I would think, and there's disadvantage to that because a lot of people in the woods the first couple of days moving everything around.
Yeah.
There's a better chance of seeing something.
Yeah.
But me personally, if I'm out hunting, I just kind of want to be out by myself.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons I go out. I love being outside. So, just to go for a walk. Some days I don't even care if I see anything. I'd rather just go for the walk. And, you're not in a hurry. You're not trying to get something done. Just go for a walk. If you want to stop and just take it in for a little bit.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Just do that and then move on a little bit.
Yeah, if you're on for the walk, it's tough to beat that.
Yeah, and part of when I hunt, I don't like to sit all day. Some guys will go out there and just sit all day. I can't do that. Yeah. I'll sit for few hours, but then I want to get out, move around, and kind of explore where I'm at.
Yeah.
Maybe find a better hunting spot.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's the thing, too, especially if you're hunting new places. Like, who's to say if you walk another 20 yards, there's not a better spot or a clearing? Or, and that, I think that's kind of the fun of it. Is like, well, this was a good spot today, but might not be tomorrow. And
And what this year, the doe that I got this year, I had never hunted that area before.
Nice.
It was just the group of guys were like, hey, this is where we're going to go. So, never hunted that area before. I mean, when I got to where I was at, I'm like, this is really thick. I'm not going to see anything. And shortly thereafter, here they come. So,
nice. What gun do you take out?
30-06.
Nice. Same. First ever deer was with a 30-30. It was like our family.
Yeah,
the one
that's my first rifle I had too. I had a lever action 30-30 though.
Same.
So you could
It's the only lever action gun I've ever shot. And the scope was mounted like slightly offset, like it wasn't like on top, so you still have like the little.
You still had your iron sights.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was it was cool. And then next gun I had was a 243, and apparently I was not very good at shooting it because I could not get a deer with it. And then I got a 30-06, and 30-06, I didn't drop everything I ever shot, but got everything I ever shot or shot at.
And my first 30-06 was a gift from my grandfather. One of my birthdays. I'm not sure exactly which birthday it was. I still have that gun, but I don't hunt with it anymore.
Yeah.
It's got the wooden stock. It's got the fancy.
Yeah.
I don't want to take it out. Like, you know, so several years back, Mandy had bought me some gift cards, and I used that to apply to a synthetic stock rifle that, I mean, if it gets scratched, it gets banged up, it gets, you know, I mean, I'm not out. Yeah. So I don't want to scratch something that, you know, because there's a chance going through all the brush and briars and anything that it's going to get scratched, it's going to get marked up. So,
yeah, I mean, I feel like that's with any of your equipment, right? Like, sometimes it's nice to have that little piece that you don't use too much, but you
know it's there.
Yeah. But then you take out the piece that it still is reliable, but it's not as aesthetic, I guess.
It doesn't. Well, I bought that synthetic stock. My grandfather, who's no longer with us, bought me that other one.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of like, well, which one do I want to hunt with? Do I want to, you know, and I got no problem hunting with the wooden stock, but I want to preserve it. Yeah. You know, it's kind of means a little bit to me. Where the other one, I just bought it with my own money, and
the sentimental layer to everything.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, I feel like there's a lot of stuff I think I'm more sentimental with than I even realize sometimes.
Depends on when you start looking at it and going, hey, you know, I got this when I was a kid, or, you know, it's sometimes harder to part with.
Yeah. I catch myself a lot when I'm like cleaning out my house, because my parents growing up, my mom, we always joke and called her a hoarder. She's not that bad, but like kind of bad. But we'd always give her a hard time because she would keep all this dumb shit. And now I have a house, and I'm like, oh, it's not hurting anything to sit there. But
so my wife is the opposite. If she hasn't used it in 6 months, it's gone.
Yeah.
Like
that's how I try to be. But
well, my garage is not that way. Yeah. So I have an '84 Oldsmobile Cutlass. That was my grandmother's car.
Oh wow!
It's got 30,000 miles on it.
Wow!
And it's just tucked away in the back of the garage.
That's
like,
so cool.
I've only dug it out like 3 or 4 times. I've lived there 25 years, 24 years. Huh. I've only dug it out a few times, but I mean, every time I jump in, it starts right up.
That's crazy.
So, yeah. And he had new brakes, new brake lines. So I dug it out a couple years ago, got some new brake lines put on it, and tucked it back away.
Nice.
You know? At some point, I probably will part with it. Yeah. But right now, no.
Yeah. See, how I try to approach, especially something like a vehicle, right? Like, we had this old camper, for example. My dad bought it for my pap for Father's Day a long time ago. And we used to take it out, we'd bring it up this direction, we'd go out for our first day of trout season, and we'd camp in it, and that was what we did. It was first day of trout. Well, after so many years, my pap couldn't go fishing anymore, so we stopped going and taking it. So it sat in his backyard for a long time. Well, eventually it was starting to get to the point where like it wasn't in great shape. So I ended up taking it from him, and the thought was to fix it up a little bit and have it.
Sure.
And shortly thereafter he had passed, I just got to the point where I was like, I don't want to change any of it. Because it just, like, by changing it, I was trading it, right? And I did that for so long that it's now ruined.
No,
I didn't take care. Like it didn't stay under cover. I mean, it's a camper. It's not like you can just we don't have anywhere where you can just park it under cover for long periods of time.
Right.
Like it sat out. So, but shame on me. Basically, just let this piece of our family history, I guess, without sounding too dramatic, but be ruined because I just didn't take care of it how I should have.
Well, I'll be honest with you, campers aren't built to last.
Yeah.
They're not, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I mean, we've owned a few of them, and they're built as cheap as they can make them.
Yeah. Yeah, a camper would be a cool... Well, that was the other thing, right? Like, I wanted to fix it up, and I was going to take it out, and then pretty much right after I found out, or I said I would take it, I found out that my Jeep couldn't tow it. It was like just too heavy for my Jeep.
Yep.
So I was like, well, shit. I'm not going to go get a truck now.
So that's kind of where we are at. We had our previous camper, and we had a full-size SUV we were able to pull it with. Mm-hmm. It was a little much for it. Bought the truck, no problem.
Yeah.
Bought a new camper. That truck could pull it, but so now I'm at a heavy-duty truck.
Yep.
And so our setup now, I mean, we got a 25-foot camper, heavy-duty truck. We got what I consider the perfect setup for me and my wife. Yeah. It's just a couple's coach. So there's no bunk beds, nothing like that. And it's just one big bed in it, bath. And of course, my favorite area's got recliners and stuff in it. Yeah. So yeah, it's a brand new camper.
Oh yeah.
And it still has that new smell, even though, well, I say brand new, but it's 3 years old. We bought it new.
Yeah.
But it still has that new smell when you walk in. You got the smell of the laminated wood that they use. Like, it's not oak trim in there, but
yeah. Well, oak trim would be too heavy.
Right, there you go. That's exactly good. Yeah.
So for anyone listening who does not know how you were involved with the outdoors and your YouTube channel and all that stuff, can you just give us a super quick summary of, let's say, what you do professionally, so like aside from YouTube, and then what you do with YouTube and like what your goals are with that?
Okay, so I'm a police officer. I've been a police officer since 1994, so it's been a lot of years. Could have retired last year. Love my job. I absolutely love being a police officer. My daughter's still in college, so I don't want to leave her without health insurance. Yeah. So I'm staying as a police officer a couple more years. I am going to retire. Being a police officer is a young man's thing. No. I'm not that young anymore. I mean, I work with young guys. They can have it. Yeah. It's just... There's a reason they let police officers retire early. Yeah. And now I know exactly, now that I'm at that stage, I know exactly why. We love the outdoors. My wife and I both love the outdoors. We started the YouTube channel just over a year ago. So she had a YouTube channel before, and we kind of just converted her channel into what we do now. So she had always done some traveling on her channel. Yeah. But we never did our camping and things like that. So we still do our travel because we love to travel. So we still do travel, but we do camping and outdoor activities. So, I mean, one week you might be camping, next week you might see us floating down the river. Yeah. Kayaking or something like that. It's just whatever we can do outside. Yeah. I mean, and we love camping. My job doesn't let us go every weekend. Yeah. I mean, if it was up to me, I'd be camping every weekend. Yeah. But I have to work every other weekend. Yeah. So we make the best of the time that we can. Yeah. So
like that's all you can do, right?
Yep.
Just optimize that time as much as possible.
Yep.
So with your camping and like your video style, are you more trying to share your experience? Are you more trying to like motivate people to get outside and do it themselves, or what's your kind of?
So we do vlog style. So we just kind of highlight what we do. Along with that, we also try to put some education something educational in our videos. My wife has a wildlife degree and her science degree. So as far as identifying trees, plants, things like that, we try to at least do something like that to give some value. I just don't want to go out there and show my viewers 40 minutes of a campfire.
Yeah.
You know, I want to give them a reason that they want to come back.
Yeah.
To keep watching the channel. And her knowledge of the outdoors is perfect for that.
Yeah.
You know, so me, I look at a flower and go, yep, it's a flower. She looks at a flower and goes, that's a painted trillium. Yeah. Okay. I believe you because you said so. You know? So it's just that's part of it. And we love to travel. So we also like to highlight our traveling. And some people don't like to travel because they don't know the logistics on traveling. Yeah. So we kind of highlight some of that also. The last video we've actually talked about, we should do a video of telling people how to get through the airport. Because it's not an easy process if you've never done it. Yeah. So somebody may not want to travel because they don't know how to get through an airport.
That's interesting.
So we talked about it, and maybe on our next trip, we'll highlight just a segment on let's get through this airport. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's something I feel like I take for granted even. Like I don't want to say grew up flying because that makes it sound way more frequent, but we definitely went on a couple trips where we would fly, so I knew how to do it when I became an adult, so it wasn't a big deal. Yep. But if you don't know that, that's like I mean, if you go where, and then I got to get on what to go where else.
Yeah. And it's easier now with the apps and stuff. Yeah. But when we first started flying, there was no apps. So you literally got off your plane, had to look at the board and go, okay, my next plane's going here, you know, and let's get to that gate because we got 20 minutes before that. So, but it's easier now with the apps because the apps will tell you what gate you should be at for your next one. And so
try.
Even people don't use those now. Those boards are still exist.
I was just going to say, I try not to use the app for that stuff. Yeah. Just to kind of like a little brain exercise, I guess. It just makes it feel more like a traveling experience when I'm like, all right, phone's away. Let me figure out
how to do this.
And I've done that a couple places I've gone where it's got me into really cool situations where I maybe talk to someone I wouldn't have talked to. You know, if you walk out of your gate with your phone, like looking at your phone,
you're not talking to anybody else.
You're not talking to anyone. But if you're standing next to someone, you're like, oh, where are you looking for? Or, hey, where are you headed? Or something like that. You can have some really cool conversations. Oh, yeah. And that's my favorite part of traveling is the meeting people.
So I will tell you this story. We were on our flight, most recent flight, from Pittsburgh to South Dakota. Okay. The lady that sat next to me was from South Dakota. Okay. So she asked us about where we were going, so conversation started, and she told us of a really cool event that was happening in South Dakota that we thought was pretty awesome. Yeah. So we reworked our vacation plans a little bit so we could attend this event.
That's awesome.
So what it was is Crazy Horse, the monument Crazy Horse. Yep. Twice a year, it's called a Volksmarch, where they allow you to go up onto Crazy Horse. So we hiked from the visitor center up to the top of the monument, and where his arm is sticking out, we were standing on the arm, looking at Crazy Horse. What? And they only do it twice a year. So it was an opportunity that we would have never gotten or even known about if we didn't talk to this lady on the plane.
So cool.
So then the other thing they allowed you to do, and so they do offer guided hikes up to the top of that arm. Yeah, yeah. But a place they let us go that isn't part of a guided hike is where his finger, they let you go around the bottom of the finger. And obviously not a place that people get to go. Yeah. And around the bottom of the finger, they had the carvers. So the guys that work on this monument every day were all around the finger, and you could talk to them and ask them questions about the equipment. They had it there, what they use. They don't use dynamite anymore. Yeah. They use like saws and cable saws and things like that to cut all the rock away. Yeah. But, just the opportunity to get and talk to these people, that was like really cool. It was really a neat opportunity that we had.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So how much of the monument is done? Because they still have a decent bit, right?
Yes. I don't know percentage-wise. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But I did ask the guy, and he figures with today's technology, so when they were first carving, they were using dynamite, things like that. It's been 75 years in works to make this monument. He figured there's about 20 more years of carving still. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, 20 years, that puts me a little bit over 70. I might see this thing finished, you know, because at first you look at it and all you see is his face and his arm and his hand. There's supposed to be a whole horse head underneath it and everything. I'm thinking I'll never see the end of this, you know, in my lifetime. But he's saying with the technology and the equipment today that they're about 20, give or take.
Well, it's also assuming that there's not any major
problems or funding's an issue.
Well, I was going to say, so two things. One, that's assuming that it doesn't, like they don't figure out more shit. Because 20 years is a long time to figure out some more stuff.
Yeah, there could be all kind of technology that comes and goes.
But the other thing is, didn't it start 75 years ago, but wasn't it on like a hiatus for a long time?
It did. So they did start cutting it and then construction paused or whatever, So they do not use any funding from the U.S. government or from South Dakota. It's only funded through visitor donations and visitor fees to go see the monument.
That's neat.
Really neat. So the day we were there, they waived the fees if you brought food, canned food, to give to the local food bank.
Wow.
Yeah, so we thought that was pretty cool. And they basically wanted 3 cans of food. Well, Mandy's like, we're doing more than 3, you know? So off to Walmart we go, cases of food. You know,
spent twice as much as you would have if you just paid.
Probably, but you know what? It went to a good cause. And I haven't been able to find a number, but they had crates and pallets just of food.
Wow,
so
that's awesome.
Yeah, this is the largest gathering of hikers in the nation. Happens here in the springtime. They do a fall hike and the spring hike. So
that's so cool, and never would have known if you wouldn't have talked to someone on the plane.
No, right, exactly. And it wasn't on a day that we were planning to be there. So we kind of reworked our schedule so that we could be there on that day, which really turned into a cool experience for us.
That's awesome.
Eventually, maybe if I get the videos done.
We'll get to see.
I'm a little behind on editing, but
life as a creator. Well, so the other thing is, you said it's funded off of visitor donations and the fees, right? I feel like the closer they get to being done, the more popular it's going to be. Because at first, you get to see a finger maybe, and now you get to see more of it.
But once they start getting more, I'm sure, the publicity, and they start cutting away at the horse's head or something like that, you know,
those big milestone things where it's like, hey, the guy's finished, now onto the horse. Or,
so right now so at some point, under his arm, where the horse's head there's a hole, and the hole is now cut in the side of the rock, so you can actually see through the rock.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And now, how big are we talking? Like, I don't even know.
So let's.
It's pretty massive.
So I asked this question. Yes, it's massive.
Okay.
The guy who polished his eye stood on the bottom eyelid and was able to polish 6 foot high of his eyeball.
Just the eye.
Is 6 foot high.
Wow.
Yeah. So when he was polishing it, he was standing on the bottom of the eyelid to polish the eyeball.
That's cool.
To give you an idea on how big this thing really is.
It's going to be a big... does it count as a statue? Because it's built into the mountain.
It's a monument. Monument.
That's a better word. That's so cool.
So and the idea of it is Crazy Horse, Native American, is pointing at their land. That's the idea of him pointing at the Black Hills, and he's pointing at native lands.
Wow.
Pretty neat story.
Really neat.
Yeah.
It's I don't know, it's mind-blowing how something like that can happen. And then, I mean, like you're saying, hopefully in our lifetime we get to see it.
Right. I never thought I would.
There's so many people for a long time that are going to get to see something like that, because it's not fucking going anywhere.
Nope. You know? No, it's definitely not going anywhere. And it's right up the road from Mount Rushmore. So if you're familiar with Mount Rushmore, it's got the 4 heads on it. This is bigger than Mount Rushmore with just one person.
Oh,
one
wow.
head.
Wow. That's neat.
So Mount Rushmore's big. I've never seen it before until we just did this last trip. You see pictures of it all over the place, but until you're really there looking at it and seeing how big it is, you can't put it in perspective until you actually see it.
That's fair. I want to keep talking about some of the YouTube and the traveling stuff. But before we do that, so I do a segment called Buy Me a Log. And our supporters who want to keep the fire going have purchased these logs for us for today's episode. So JT and Kelly, thank you so much. I appreciate you very much. If you want to be like JT and Kelly, there's a link down in the description. Do all the things.
Buy a log.
Yeah, buy a log. So I don't know if I've told you this part yet. So when you're a supporter, you get recognized for the entire season. So like before this season is launched, there'll be a deadline.
Right.
And you'll be recognized the entire season. So at the end of the season, or at the end of every episode rather, you are like your name and like the tier and all that stuff is shown. Just a nice little way to try to give back to the people who are supporting, you know. But be like JT and Kelly. So what other cool experiences have you had that you might not have if you didn't have a conversation with a completely random person?
Wow, a lot in my life because I am a talker. I do like to now just the opposite of my wife who would rather just fade away and not talk to anybody.
Yeah.
I do like talking, and so just a lot of what we do as far as our YouTube channel is based on conversation. I might learn about something somewhere. One of the guys I work with, he knows I like doing waterfalls. He's like, hey, have you ever been to this one? It's literally an hour from here.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've never seen that. So he showed me on the map, and I'm like, okay, I need to go do this.
Yeah.
Haven't done it yet, but it is on my list. I like to do waterfalls in the spring because later in Pennsylvania, they usually dry up.
Yeah, you want the waterfalls.
Yeah. And if they're not a well-known waterfall, they usually do dry up.
Yeah.
So you get there and you either see, a bare rock ledge or something, and it doesn't have the same effect.
No.
People watching on my YouTube channel probably aren't going to be like, oh, let's watch this waterfall. Oh, yeah, it's just a rock.
Yeah.
So we usually try to do those in the springtime, but
waterfalls are actually what got me into photography, which spiraled me into weddings and all of that stuff.
Okay.
So funny little caveat there, but I love waterfalls, and I find that I really like small waterfalls. Like it's really cool to see big ones,
right?
But the amount of like landscape and like other aspects you can get into a photo when it's a not giant waterfall is really cool. Like for a long time, my favorite waterfall photo was the waterfall was this big.
Oh, really?
And it was probably maybe 3 or 4 foot wide, but just the scene around it. And I was on a quad ride with my camera because I had just got it, and I drove through this little creek, and I looked up, and I literally like slammed on the brakes. I was like,
there's the water.
I'm like picturing this little shot.
Probably an unnamed waterfall out in the middle of the woods.
Yes.
So this time of the year in Pennsylvania is awesome for waterfalls if you can find the water flowing because the mountain laurel's blooming, the rhododendron's blooming, so you can have some really cool shots this time of the year.
I definitely need to go out on more before it starts drying up because I'm sure it's coming.
It's coming, And the mountain laurel's going the other way already. So depends on where at in the state you are, but it's starting to.
Do you have a favorite waterfall in the area?
No, just any waterfall. I just like going to waterfalls. We just went to the video that's actually coming out this week. We went to Loyalsock State Forest, and along the stream there's 3 sets of waterfalls, and they're named by DCNR middle, or lower, middle, and upper falls. Yeah. So we just went and checked those out. Drove 2 hours just to check out waterfalls.
Nice.
So, and I say drove 2 hours to check out waterfalls, but we end up getting ice cream and pizza, and it's
an experience.
Right. It's just not 2 hours for a waterfall.
So. There was actually probably one of my favorite waterfalls around here. Was also my favorite experience to get to it, and is one of my favorite photos I've taken of a waterfall. It was Pigeon Falls near Marionville.
Yes. Yep.
So I had no idea where I was going, so I used Google.
Experience.
Well, yes, I had no idea. I cheated. I used Google, but I had a friend with me who was up here, and we were just doing some hikes and stuff. And she was like, hey, let's find a waterfall. I'm like, all right, cool, we could do that. So I find this place. It looks pretty cool, and it doesn't look like it's very far from where my camp is. Well, the reason it didn't look far was because it was through the the game and forest land, right?
Okay.
So everything's like gated and shit.
Yeah.
So GPS is taking me through there on these roads.
But you're not allowed.
And I'm like, I don't know that I'm supposed to be on these roads right now. But at one point, like I'm zoomed out and I can see on Google Maps where there's like a trail that goes basically like next to this lake. There's a drop off on this side, which I couldn't see in the photo, and then the lake on the other side. And I was like, there's a trail there. It's used for something, and it connects to the road that we're trying to get to. We'll just go that way. So I go out, and I'm literally like, I'm like a foot on this side is this like 25-foot drop off, and then on this side is a lake. And it might not have been that deep, but it's still a lake. I don't want to get stuck. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I have no service. Long story short, it was like a 45-minute drive. We're like less than a half mile from the trailhead to where we need to go, and it's just this one lane road. It's like a hunting road, and there's this giant tree down across. I was like, what are we gonna do now? So I didn't have any tow straps at the time. After this, I went and got a bunch of
course.
But I had 2 hammock straps in my Jeep that I like netted together to give it extra pull, and then just hooked it over my.
And you were able to get it off?
And pulled it right off the thing. I was like, all right,
Nice.
cool. And then went out but yeah, it was just.
So it's funny you say that, because the story I just told you of the guy at work was Pigeon Falls.
Nice.
Yeah. I haven't been there yet, but he that's the one he highlighted for me.
Highly recommend it.
Oh, okay.
It's nothing like. It's a pretty easy walk. There's a lot of. The reason I like the photos so much is because there's so many different like parts to it.
Okay.
So like, there's the water's hitting this rock, and it kind of looks like it doesn't always hit that rock, or it's flowing over this rock in such a way because of the way that the water level is.
Right.
Like there's a lot of parts to it that just seem so picture perfect on that day.
Yeah, I haven't been there, but it's on the list.
Definitely take the time and go. Maybe if you want an adventure, go through
the forest to get there.
Yeah. But if not, you can just go down to Marionville, and then it's like leaving. I was like, oh, we'll just go the other way.
Yeah.
And it was like a half a mile to like the main road, and then the main road the whole way back. I'm like, wouldn't have been as fun, but a little less stressful.
Got some Pennsylvania pinstripes?
Yeah. all over the place. I got the Jeep, and my family's thing is when you get a new vehicle, if it's supposed to be like off-roady, you take it up over the hill, like the hill of our property. And I had bought, the first vehicle I had ever bought with my like adult money was a Jeep Compass. It was a Trailhawk, because I was like, it has to be off-roady.
Has to have the bigger tires and the red tow hooks.
But I went to take it up, and it was snowing, but I put it in like snow mode or whatever. I was like, I ain't gonna have any issue with this, and it wouldn't even think about making it up there. So literally like 3 days later, I stopped in after work on the way home. I had just bought this thing like 6 months before. Okay, so I stopped at home from work, and or stopped at a dealership on the way home from work because I saw this red Jeep. I was like, oh, that's pretty nice. So I get out, I test drive it, and I left. I was working night shift, got off, bought the car that day, went home, went to sleep, and then went back to work. So I was still at home. I was in the process of moving. And so I went home to my parents' house, got out, went downstairs, and went to sleep. Like, it's just... And I wake up to go to work. My parents are like, whose Jeep is that? I was like, oh, that's mine. I just bought that today. Like, what?
Yeah, and it's a whole process.
Yeah.
Buying a vehicle is not something you just go in and do. It's not like running into Walmart and checking out and being done.
Yeah, no.
It's a whole process.
It was a long day, which I learned the whole process, like I said, 6 months before when I bought this other thing. But they gave me a good trade-in. Like, I bought this thing, had it for 6 months, and then traded it in for more than I was paying for it. So I was like, oh, okay, give me a good deal on it. But it was...
Yeah, they got a customer too, so that's...
Well, they also lost a customer because they're a bunch of assholes, but that's a different story. Yeah, they were good. The guy I dealt with was good, but every single person I've talked to since then has been a fucking dick.
Oh, no.
And I won't throw them under the bus because I don't know that they've done enough to deserve that. But if you know me and you know where it is,
But you won't be going back.
I will not be. I will definitely not be. And it's just like dumb stuff. Like I went in for like my oil changes, right? Like they change your oil and rotate your tires. It's so many free if you buy the car there.
Sure.
And I was like, well, I normally do this shit myself, but it's free, so
might as well do it. Yeah.
So I take it in, and I think it was like the first 3 were free, and I thought it was the 4. So I have to pay on the 4th one, and so I was like asking for my keys. He goes, you gonna pay for it? I was like, it's free, isn't it? He goes, no, it's not free. And the way he talked to me was like, I'm an idiot. It's like, well, I haven't paid for one since I got it, so sorry. But it was like $150, right?
Oh yeah, the oil changes aren't cheap, especially at a dealership.
So the next oil change I had to do, right? This is when I again just got the Jeep. It's my first ever oil change for the. You literally don't even have to jack it up. You just crawl underneath, take the bolt out, drain it. It takes longer for it to drain than every other part of it combined. The filter is in the top of the Jeep.
Oh really?
So like just take the nut out underneath, let it drain, twist the filter off, plop a new one in, fill it up, and I'm done.
Yeah.
But anyways, I digress.
So I change all my own oil.
Yeah.
And with the heavy duty truck, I can sit underneath it in the front, like
nice.
Between the bumper and where the radiator is. I can actually sit underneath there and do all the work.
That's neat.
Yeah. Where my wife's truck can't do that.
Yeah.
And it's a Chevy, and they have a quarter turn bolt that you put your ratchet on, and you quarter turn it, and it flows out. Like there's no slowly letting it run out.
Yeah.
It makes a mess. It just dumps everywhere, all over the driveway. And
it's my favorite challenge is I get it just to the end, and then you try to pull it so you don't get the.
It's
like my favorite game when I'm changing oil.
Yeah. Well, with the Chevy, you can't do that. It's a quarter turn and it's dumping.
Coming now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is nice. You don't need extra tools.
Yeah.
It's just your ratchet.
Yeah.
Put it in there, but I think they need it to be threaded a little bit so that you can have a little control over it.
Give you a second to get out.
Oh, my hands are covered and everything. You don't even get that.
Nice.
So, but I mean, I guess there is some to changing your own oil.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, it's a whole lot cheaper than the garages.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, it was like I think it cost me like $40. It was like $30 for the oil and like $10 for the filter.
Yep.
I'm like, why did I pay $150 for this? And this was like 7 or 8 years ago now. So I'm like,
Yep.
Now it's probably like every bit of $200 to get it changed from them.
Well, no, it depends on the oil too. If you're in that full synthetic oils and.
That's what I put in it now. Well, that's what I've always put in it because I figure I get the one that's most recommended by Jeep.
Right.
Because I figure,
it's a Chrysler product, so it's probably like some foreign.
Yeah.
Like I think my Chrysler product, I have a Ram. It's like 0W something. Yeah. It's really odd oil.
Yeah.
It's a European oil.
0W20, I think is what I am.
Yep.
They're 0W20. 20 is one of the numbers. 0 is one of the numbers.
Yeah.
0W20 is anyone.
It's probably close to what it's because they run those Fiat.
Yeah.
Based at which is European. So.
Yeah. But I don't know how we got talking about cars when we're talking about YouTube, but I feel like that is how the conversations around the fire
who knows?
All right, well, tell me something else about your journey for your YouTube. So your wife had one. You guys kind of merged and started doing it together.
Yeah.
And what are you doing with it now? Where do you want it to go?
So the channel now is hiking, camping, basically anything outdoors, and that's kind of the direction we want to stay with it. We want to, because we love the outdoors, we love camping, we love hiking, what I started doing this year is I started creating some bucket list hikes and knocking them off. Cranny Crow was one of my big ones. You ever hike Cranny Crow?
I have not.
Okay, so West Virginia.
Okay.
Cranny Crow is a really cool overlook hike. So I told you before we started recording, one of the things I like is destination hikes.
Yep.
Even if it's out and back, I'm fine with that. Hiking back on the same trail, but I want a reason for that hike, whether it's a waterfall, a vista, something.
Yeah.
I just don't like walking through the woods for 4 miles and be like, okay, that was fun. I like a destination. So Cranny Crow was one of the ones on my list. We also went to Shenandoah here right at the end of winter. And we hiked to Dark Hollow Falls, and it was completely still frozen.
Nice.
So I told her when we were down there that I wanted to do Old Rag. Old Rag is supposedly like their big hike that they have. And I put that on my bucket list. Well, with Old Rag, you have to buy a reservation ticket.
Permit.
So I'm not much of a huge planner way out in advance. So I've been kind of watching. I found a weekend. We both had off. It's a busy weekend, so we knew we weren't going to get a campsite.
Yeah.
4th of July weekend, we're not going to get a campsite.
Yeah.
I said, let's go do Cranny Crow. So the way the reservation tickets are, they release so many at one point, and then they release more.
Next wave, yeah.
Yeah. So we jumped on that second wave, got 2 tickets, talked with our neighbor friends. They said they're willing to go with us. Got 2 more tickets, and that's our plan.
Nice.
July 5th, is a Sunday. We're going to go hike Cranny Crow, or Old Rag. And then one of the draws for my wife is outside of Shenandoah is a Buc-ee's. So she says we are going to go to Buc-ee's and get the brisket for dinner, and we're just going to stay in that town and then head home the next day. But yeah,
That'll be a fun trip.
so Buc-ee's is on the list. We've been there a couple times to that particular Buc-ee's, but that it's kind of a draw for her. She's like, yeah, I'll go if we're going to go to Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
So, but so I've been adding these hikes that I end up wanting to do to kind of my mental list, and then try knocking them off. And when we do it, we do a video of it. I'm not sure how much of a video we'll do because we will have our neighbors with us.
Yeah.
I don't want to put other people on the channel like that don't want to be on the channel.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how much we'll show on that one, but
Yeah, I feel like that's a hard thing to balance. Just being a creator in general, but let alone a YouTuber when a lot of it's longer form.
Right.
Is like mixing people in, and like we talked before this, it was, you get these cool clips of people and you're like, oh, am I going to be able to use it? And those are the things that those are the memories I want to have for myself, and the things that I want to share with the most people, because in my eyes, yes, it's them being goofy, but that's them. That's my favorite part of these people.
Well, and I think that's one of the things that people watch is, especially what we're talking about is a creator meetup. So a group of creators got together. You don't always see that creator in your video because they're usually behind the camera, running the camera. So I'm behind the camera, but I'm also recording the other creators. Yeah. And I think that's what some people want to see on these creator meetup videos.
Yeah, especially those ones, because like you said, it's a totally different, I wonder if I could say it without, I'll say it, because Bill, right? Maximum Outdoor.
Yeah.
Watching his videos, I'm like, oh, this is a serious dude, and he does this stuff, and he might have something goofy here and there, but hanging out with a dude, we were goofing off the whole time.
Come on, how about the clip where he was at the end of the line? Yeah, come on, that's the best video.
That's the best clip, but it's not like he had both of his hands in use, so it's not like he could film it while he was doing it.
I'm not sure what he was doing in that clip.
That was the TikTok trend going around, that they were all hopping through the thing.
Yeah, I think what they did is they recorded one person doing it, and then a different scene they recorded a second person in the group, and Bill happened to be the 5th person at the end of the line. But he was not, he didn't look like the 4 in front of him at all. He had his own style.
Not even a little bit. But that's the kind of stuff you don't get to see if you don't have these different, is that something he would do? Maybe, but it's not something he would think to do for a video.
Right.
And we got it because, we were
behind the camera is what it was. Yeah, we were behind the camera. So
there's six different cameras, angles of the same thing.
Yep.
But
and I think that's part of the draw why people like these creator meetups, because you're getting to see the creator not behind the camera, not trying to make a video, just being that person. And I think that helps people relate to that creator.
I think that also goes to show like the people want more of you, right? And Carla gives me shit for this all the time. Like a lot of times in a video I'm just so serious, but when I'm recording the video I'm still goofing around.
Yeah.
And then I'll like
edit all
face
that. Yeah.
But I'm trying to get to the point where I'm just like, you know, this was funny.
Just
like,
need to be, yep.
Like kind of an example. Like I did this camp out in an old high school, right? And the opening shot, we're in a gym.
I think I saw that picture out your tent in the gym,
yes.
and I was kind of wondering, like, where did you take this?
It was an old high school with like the gymnasium in the front or in the back, and like all the chairs. But I'm standing on the stage for the opening shot, and I was like, I want to hit a 3 and be like, oh, we're camping, right? So like it took me like 6 or 7 takes because I'm not a basketball player. But finally I hit it.
I'd say if you hit it at 6 or 7, that's not bad.
Compared to when I was in high school, it took me like 30, but getting a little better now. But anyway, so I hit the shot and I say like, yeah, welcome to the show, or like whatever I said. But at the end of it, I put all of the clips of me missing. And I'm like, fuck. And I'm like throwing stuff and I'm like missing. I'm like, I just missed it. Or I'd say it and I was like, oh, I just realized I have to make the shot and say my stuff right.
Oh, right.
I'm being goofy. And I feel like that's the stuff that like, it also makes me laugh when I'm editing it. So I'm like, if it makes me feel good about me when I'm looking at it, I want to share that with people. Because if you don't like that, that's me. If you don't like that, this isn't.
And I'll be honest with you, what people don't see, they watch our videos, but they don't know the amount of time that it takes. Yeah, we go out and record it. It takes us a day. We put together all these video clips, but then we have hours of editing.
Yeah.
I mean, some people can put them together and have the video done in 30 minutes. I'm not like that. It takes me forever to edit the video, and I'm so far backed up on videos because of that.
Yeah, for however long it takes me to shoot, I would say it probably takes me about triple the time
to edit it down.
And that's, I mean, doing some of the styles that I've been, that's my lazy edit. Like, that's not even my, like, getting all the B-roll clips and the right stuff.
So let me ask you about, what do you think it takes Bill?
Too long.
Oh, my goodness. His videos are so cinematic that it's got to take him forever to edit those.
I feel like it's one of two things. And I would assume that with how often he does them, it has to be the second one. It either is he shoots everything and then just goes back and tries to piece it together, or it's he goes in with an idea of like, I want to do these certain shots and shoots them in order. And then you can just drop it in together. And you just kind of trim it. Yeah. Because I find, especially if I'm trying to do like a cinematic thing, that's what I have a very, like I follow a shot list. Like I want this shot to open, I want this shot next, I want this shot, and then I just drag them into the timeline and I find the piece I want, trim it before, trim it after, and then just kind of smush everything.
So we try that, but it never seems to work out.
Yeah.
I mean, we have an idea of what we want to do.
When you get those good shots, you're like, I gotta put this in there.
Right, yeah. So you talked about being goofy. Mm-hmm. My video that comes out on Thursday, it definitely has me doing something that I would not have normally done, and probably only did it because we were making that video.
Yeah.
I may have done it when I was a kid, but I haven't done it in my adult life until last week. Okay. It was Father's Day is when we did it, and I told my wife, I said, we drove. I'm doing it. I'll give it away. I jumped in. I jumped 20 feet off of a rock into a swimming hole.
That's so cool.
But it's something I wouldn't have done, but now that I've done it, I got the shot, and I'm like, I'm glad I did it. Yeah. I'm not sure I would have, if I wouldn't have had that camera, I probably wouldn't have done it.
Yeah. I will say that is a really big thing for me, is it just gives me so much more courage to do it. Because I think it also gives me an excuse, right? Like if someone's like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, the camera's right there. Don't you see it? I'm being cool.
But on the other hand, with the cameras, if you're somewhere, there's a lot of times my voice will be lower because I don't want people hearing me talking to the camera. Yeah. And then going, well, what the heck is this guy doing? Yeah,
I try to balance it because, like, what I find is, especially when I first started, I used to talk with, my brother called it my streamer voice, because, like, I would just, like, project, like, it was like I was trying to talk to, like, a radio, right? Yeah. But now I try to talk like I would talk. So what I'm really trying to work on, and I don't do it perfectly by any means, is talking with my normal voice, no matter where I'm at. So like, even if I'm like, if I get excited, I'll I'll be excited.
Yeah.
But most of the time, it's just how I try to talk is how I talk. And it's, especially when you start getting looks, or like people are watching you.
Right.
You're like, I want to be a little more quiet.
So my wife says it's my influencer voice is what she calls it, because I will voice over a lot on our shorts that we publish with my influencer voice, not my regular voice. I don't know why it changes, but it does. I don't know. I'll blame the mic, but it's not.
It's definitely us. It's definitely the tone and everything about it. But Carl, how much time are we at?
We're at an hour.
Oh.
And the rain is supposed to increasingly get...
Yeah, we should probably... I don't want to end this conversation, but I feel like we should probably wrap it up here.
Well, there will be many more, but maybe not in front of a camera.
Yeah, well...
I have one poncho, you can share it.
I mean, that would make a good...
if you want to... Not sure you'd get viewers from that, but might lose some viewers.
All right, well, we'll wrap this up. Thank you for being here, first off.
Oh, yeah.
I really appreciate it.
I'm so glad that I was able to work it into... My schedule's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Between owning the business, running and managing the business on a day-to-day basis, my full-time job, and I literally edited video till 11:30 last night. Got up at 6:30 this morning so I could print the orders and get them going so that I would be able to have time to come down here.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it.
On top of all that, I still have to maintain my yard, my grass, my house.
Live life.
Yeah, right, yeah. So...
That's crazy shit. Well, I'm looking forward to many more conversations and all of that stuff. But
I think what we need to do is we need to plan a weekend where we just go and actually sit and go camping.
Twist my arm.
I think that's what we need to do.
I will say, well, so are your weekends usually best for you?
So I work every other weekend.
Okay. What do you get when you don't work the weekend, or when you do work the weekend? Do you get weekdays off back to back?
So yeah, if I work the weekend, then I would have. So I would work Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I would be off Monday, Tuesday. Work Wednesday, Thursday, and then I have Friday, Saturday, Sunday off.
So if you have weekdays, I have weekdays open all the time. I don't have a single free weekend until October's over.
Oh, okay.
As of current.
Yeah.
So, but yes, I 100%. I mean, I'll be up here, so we can hang out and camp.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just...
So, kind of halfway between us would be Punxsutawney?
Ish, yeah.
Ish, okay. I'm just trying to think. There's really no state parks in that area.
Yeah, no. I have to look at a map because I'm going to say something that's going to be not even close.
Yeah.
It's going to eat me up in the
I'm
comments.
thinking Du Bois, Punxsutawney. There's not a whole lot as far as park-wise down that way.
I mean, there's definitely a bunch of areas, but I don't know actual parks.
You remember, I got the mobile, the Hilton that I bring, so...
We'll figure something out.
Yeah.
But just for the record, I will link all of your stuff in our description.
Okay.
That way people want to check you out, they can.
Sure.
And then, we'll go from there. But
Awesome.
TJ,
so what do we have in here?
So this is Tin Cup Whiskey.
Tin Cup, okay.
Yeah. It was our number 2 rated on our last season's between the season blind bourbon tasting, and I enjoyed it, and we've got a lot of good compliments.
So I've never had this.
Okay.
And it's really good.
Oh, you've never had Andy Shandy from the Brew Bank?
I have not. So I've ate at the Brew Bank, but I don't normally get alcohol with my meal.
That's fair.
So, but this, is there a flavor? Is it?
It's just like blueberry.
Blueberry,
Shandy,
but yeah.
Blueberry and
because this is really good.
It's so good.
It's definitely a good summer beer. I'm not sure wintertime would be, but it's definitely a good summer beer.
We had the Brew Bank yesterday, right? And I never get alcohol with my food because it just messes with it.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
I literally ordered the beer and I was like, oh, I got beer, and now I'm drinking it as I'm eating my food. And I literally thought to myself, this is the only beer I'd ever enjoy with this food.
So is this a regular beer for them, or is this a seasonal?
They always have this one.
Okay.
They have a mango shandy right now also. That's also really good. And they just did a super limited launch of a raspberry Andy Shandy or strawberry lemonade Andy Shandy, something like that.
Pretty good.
They sold out of it in less than 24 hours.
Oh, did they?
So he's like, we're getting more of it, I promise. Let you know. I'm like, dude, I need some of it. Save me some. But But yes, so Annie Shandy, this is actually our beer sponsor for the episode.
Oh, well,
So yeah,
it was good. I'll tell you that.
Glad you liked it.
Yeah, I was shocked when I had that first sip. I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
refreshing.
It is. Yeah, definitely, like I said, a summer beer.
Yes.
That would definitely be.
Yeah, floating.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Tough to beat. But DJ, thank you for coming.
Sure.
How about cheers to 100K?
Absolutely. Or you're going to hit it before me.
We're hitting it together. Cheers. That is all we have for this episode of Campfire Convos. If you've made it this far, I appreciate you. And until next time, peace. A huge thank you to everyone who bought a log this season. Some of you sparked the fire, others kept it burning, but every one of you helped make Campfire Convos possible. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much.